Okay, good evening, namaste, Kem Cho Gujarat. Awesome. My name is Hariharan Iyer and I am your host for the evening, and I am also the co-author of this series called Eves Against the Odds, where we are unveiling volume 2 and also showcasing volume 1. So on behalf of Billionaire Divas, Bhavesh Kothari, Vinod Kothari, I welcome all of you to this very, very special evening in Ahmedabad. Very special city for all of us, and very special day for me personally, if I might share. Happens to be my dad's birthday, late father, he's no more, but it's my father's birthday. And I discovered, I had forgotten about it, I discovered that I actually opened the current account of my business on this day 13 years ago. Wow. So my organization, and I'm basically a corporate trainer, and I just love writing. And as I was sharing with my friend, that it doesn't matter anybody reads my books or not, but I keep publishing. So this is my 9th book overall. So I started with some little marketing about myself. That's the advantage of being a host. And but absolutely delighted that Bhavesh and me have co-authored this Eves Against the Odds. It's a very special day. Otherwise, how do you get so many beautiful women to be part of your book launch? It's not possible. So it's very controversial now at the family level. They are wondering why no men are around you to take pictures. Okay, so a big round of applause for all you wonderful women and also some of the highly brave men who have walked into this room. I think you should clap for them. Thank you so much. एक शेर से शुरुआत करूँगा और क्योंकि हम गुजरात में हैं और जितना मैं गुजरातियों को जानता हूँ बड़े खुश रहते हैं जिंदगी में, राइट? और ये शेर भी मैंने गुजरात में ही सुना था from one of my clients. He used to always say this at the start of any session that he used to write up. कि जिंदगी में सदा मुस्कुराते रहो, जिंदगी में सदा मुस्कुराते रहो, क्योंकि मुस्कुराना जिंदगी की जरूरत है, क्योंकि मुस्कुराना जिंदगी की जरूरत है. जिंदगी को जियो इस अंदाज में, जिंदगी को जियो इस अंदाज में कि लोग आपको देखकर कहे कि वाह जिंदगी कितनी खूबसूरत. And that epitomizes the 50 ladies who have been covered in these 2 volumes, that they are role models, people look up to them, and that's why they are in the book. And we will talk a little later about how we curated these stories. And really the authors of these books have been these 50 ladies. Bhavesh and we have simply curated, that's why even the cover says it's curated by Bhavesh and Hariharan. So we get on with the program now, otherwise I'm a trainer and I can talk till 10 in the night. So we'll start with the traditional lighting of the lamp. I will request Sir, Ma'am, also Bhavesh, Rutuja and Meena also to please join in the lamp lighting. She is brave enough to allow her husband to write books about other women. Okay, it's an absolute honor for us to have some amazing and eminent people with us. I'd like to begin by inviting our chief guest for the evening, Dr. Anju Sharma, IAS Principal Secretary, Labour, Skill Development and Employment Department, Government of Gujarat. So, a big round of applause for her. For us, ma'am, we share a very personal bond because we wrote the foreword for our first volume, and that was very kind of you because it was also during COVID that we brought out the first volume. So it was really tough coordinating and getting people to write their stories, get the book out. So first of all, thank you so much for having given us the forward and also for your presence. Thank you so much. And ma'am is a member of the prestigious Indian Administrative Service, and she has been serving in the government at senior leadership positions for more than 30 years. She currently holds the Office of Labour, Skill Development and Employment, Government of Gujarat as Principal Secretary. She has done her MBA in Marketing and Finance and Masters in International Development Policy from Duke University, United States of America. She also has done her doctorate in role of spiritual intelligence in preventing burnout amongst managers from Pandit Deendayal Energy University, Gandhinagar. It's a very illustrious career and spread over, I think, for 30 years, more than 30 years. Yeah, more than 30 years, and she has received several awards, like the Prime Minister's Award for Administrative Excellence. 31 years. When you look back at when you started your career, suddenly time has flown. But it's beautiful because as long as you're doing such an amazing contribution. And I was just checking out on Amazon after reading your profile. She is also the author of 2 books. So we have an author among us Eye of the Storm, Discover Your True Self. And I love the title of the second one, Corporate Monk, A Journey from Wealth to Wisdom. We all have come from the corporate world and we all know how much wisdom we all need. So, ma'am, it's over to you. We'd love to hear from you, the chief guest like this. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Anju.
President of GCCI and a very familiar face for all of us, right? Naresh Bhai, Sukhraji, Hariharanji, Meenakshi, and all of you very successful entrepreneurs. I also have crossed at various points in GCCI or in some other form. And in fact, your life is inspiring to me also because this is one milestone that is left in my life. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and I ended up in public service. So maybe after retirement I'll still have the opportunity to. So that time I'll come to you for mentoring. So, but being an entrepreneur is really very, very difficult journey. It's not so easy. And be it the case when you are coming from a business family or you are coming from totally a raw family, get no business. And like in my case, I came into service from a family of people who are not into government service, so it became a challenge. So similarly, I have seen for women to become an entrepreneur, especially on their own, is very challenging. And even if you have a business family, there will be a very strong resistance from all your corners of mother-in-law, husband, children, maybe father, mother, and whatever. So all kind of resistance comes. First of all, making them convinced that you can do it, and then proving yourself that yes, you've been able to do it. Both are very important things because, don't feel bad, but somehow men don't give us a level playing field. They start at here, so we start here. The initial part of the journey we have to spend in reaching that level. And so we are sometimes very unfairly judged. Okay, and we are not judged at par with them. So any single failure, you see it as such a big failure. देखो हमने तो पहले ही कहा था, तुम नहीं कर पाओगे. So we are very cautious of failure. We are very cautious of mistakes that may happen. And when people many times ask me how I cleared my civil services in first attempt. And the answer to that is, very interesting. This was this only, that my father told me, पहले attempt में service नहीं तो शादी. So that huge thing was there. Fear was there on my head. Either you clear it in the first attempt, or you'll be married off to somebody and sent to your in-laws family and actually I'm not legalized like that. Beauty बनाना अगर जो कुछ नहीं आता है मुझे, तो खाना बनाना आता है, रोटी बनाना नहीं आता. But what I want to say is that it is quite challenging. And when you are struggling for setting up your own profession and settling down, all the more challenging because of per se being a woman, it is very difficult in the men's world. Very difficult in the men's world. And despite all the encouragement from your family or people around you, you have to face all varied kind of challenges, including sexist remarks, including a very suspicious side. You will be able to do it. So, and including the fact that your performance is judged not by your work but by clothes and by your looks and all that. And including, of course, advances made by colleagues and so all these kind of challenges plus the challenges. So making it big is a huge story. And when GCCI joined us for mentoring, women mentoring, I happened to be there in 2 or 3 of the sessions. And this is something which I used to emphasize while mentoring for these girls, because even some of my colleagues said, "अरे तुम लड़की हो के ये काम करती हो?" I used to say कि नहीं भाई, लड़की हो के तुम ये क्या तरीका हो किसी को देखने का, कि लड़की हो के ये कर रही हो तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. मतलब तारीफ करने का भी तरीका इतना खराब कि तुम लड़की होकर भी ये कर रहे हो तो कितनी अच्छी बात है. मतलब ये अब तारीफ है या गैर तारीफ है मुझे आज तक मुझे समझ में नहीं आई ये बात कि लड़की होकर भी तुमने ये कर लिया या महिला होकर भी तुमने ये कर लिया तो वो तारीफ होती है या नहीं होती है. तो मतलब ये this is the world that we are facing. So that's why and this is the most important thing. Women mentoring women. This is normally my Women's Day lecture, but then women mentoring women is most important, which we don't do. It does not come naturally to us. So, but we have. And see, sometimes people say, ये तो लड़की है इसलिए आप इसकी फेवर कर रहे हो. अब क्यों नहीं करूँ? तुम सब लोग अपनी कम्युनिटी की फेवर करते हो. मैं अपनी कम्युनिटी की फेवर क्यों करूँ? मैं तो नहीं बोलती कि आप लड़के हो इसलिए लड़की की फेवर कर रहे हो. But see, their problem is reverse. If they favor the girl, तुम लड़के हो इसलिए लड़की की फेवर कर रहे हो. लड़की है इसलिए उसकी फेवर करते हो. तो लड़की का तो दोनों तरीके से बनना है कि लड़का फेवर करे, मतलब मैन फेवर करे तो लड़की इसलिए फेवर कर रहा है, women फेवर करे तो लड़की इसलिए फेवर कर रहा है. बेचारी क्या करे? You see how alone we are. How alone we are. This thing may look nice, but if you see the depth of it, nobody cannot get very close to you. A woman will not get close to you because of being labeled as feminist. Okay, और भी कई सारे नाम दे देते हैं लोग. And man will not favor you because और फिर सीढ़ी कहाँ से मिलेगी आप? सीढ़ी कहाँ से मिलेगी? तो at least we as women, we can rise up to the occasion. I will favor a woman, and it is all well within my right to favor women. And this is what we want: holding each other's hand, and at least one successful entrepreneur holding hands up. At least God has given us 2 hands. We can hold then what kind of revolution we will make. So these kind of stories, I think it's such an interesting thing and such a good thing that he has chronicled these kind of stories, and so many girls, young girls who will learn from this, they may get inspired. And you know, inspiration is something which you don't know when it happens. So sometimes people tell me that in some interview or the other, and some remote family member of yours or some girl who has met you someday, so people will, that girl was talking about you. They say, what was she talking about? मुझे मैडम की तरह से करना है. So you don't know that face, you don't know her, but कहाँ पे आपने वो उसको inspire कर दिया है? And that is something, it's a flame that burns slowly and silently. And we have to burn that flame. We have to ignite it. And it's a forum that all of you come together. I think at least these 25-50 women, we all can come together. And you can have, you have 50 followers, but I'm not talking about that. But a women entrepreneurs forum. So you have this Millennium Diva. Yeah. So you Millennium Diva group or whatever. So and you can meet very regularly. I can invite you to my institutions. You can also visit various institutions, various groups of young girls, women colleges, and talk to them, inspire them. So more than motivation, inspiration is very important, because inspiration a person will draws herself, whereas motivation is something external, and inspiration therefore is far more powerful than motivation. So I really congratulate हरिहरन जी मुझे ये बताइए कि सक्सेस एजुकेशन क्या होता है? Because success education, I don't know why people are running after success. It is truth that success brings happiness, but जैसा इन्होंने खुद ने कहा, happiness in itself is success. Happiness आपने पा ली तो success पा लिया ना. जो कंसल्टेंट्स का एक बहुत खूबसूरत कहानी सुनाते हैं ना कि कंसल्टेंट जाता है, एक आदमी पेड़ के नीचे सो रहा होता है, उसको बोलता है मैं तरीका बताऊंगा बिजनेस करने का, तो ये होगा तो ये होगा तो ये होगा, तो तुम्हारे पास इतने सारे पैसे आ जाएंगे, तुम्हारा बिजनेस इतना, तो बोले ये सब में आ जाएगा, फिर मैं करूंगा क्या? तो तुम आराम से सोचो, तो अभी मैं क्या करूँ? तो it's like that, you know. So happiness is the most important thing in life, and happiness in itself is success. So instead of success education, I think we should focus more on happiness education.
That's what we teach.
And since you brought up the topic, the subject of my research is role of spiritual intelligence in preventing burnout amongst the managers, which includes managers would mean all of us in managerial or leadership positions. And in this we worked out a model to prevent burnout. All of us face stress. And stress leads to burnout. Accumulated unmanaged stress leads to burnout. Stress लाइफ में से रह जाएगा. और आप लोग सब इस कामकाजी महिलाएं हैं. इवन कामकाजी बाहर नहीं है तो भी घर के अंदर भी स्ट्रेस होता है. घर के अंदर तो बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस होता है. Okay. मेरे घर वाले बोलते बाहर निकलो तो तुम्हारी लाइफ से स्ट्रेस कम होगा. अंदर रहोगे हमको भी स्ट्रेसफुल करोगे और खुद भी स्ट्रेस में रहोगे. This is actually the truth. So stress is going to be there, and stress, they say that it is necessary for human for life. You will not fight if there is no stress, and you will not move ahead if there is no stress. So it's kind of a general requirement of nature. Nature gives you stress so that you can grow. So stress is bound to be there, but you manage the stress, and that's how unmanaged and accumulated stress leads to burnout. So what prevents it? How you can prevent is that we develop. There is a factor called spiritual intelligence. If spiritual intelligence is high, then you won't be burnt out. You will be stressed but not burnt out. So we have developed an equation and we have developed a 35-item tool to measure your spiritual intelligence. And it is as good as a copyrighted patented item. And probably that is the idea in my mind how I can take it to measure it or something like this. But then what the happiness thing, it's a happiness quotient that we have to work on. And let me also tell you one thing. Happiness is very, very highly confused concept. And happiness exists at various levels. And we confuse happiness with various things. For example, if I say like happiness can be, some people will call happiness is pleasure. Pleasure is the most lowest level of happiness, pleasure, which is basically sensory in nature. The highest level is bliss, where nothing really matters when you are happy. It really doesn't matter to you whatever is happening outside, but you are still happy. That is bliss, that's the highest level. And the lowest level is your sensory pleasures that give you happiness. Between that, there are so many stages of happiness. And you move from one stage of happiness to other in life. And you evolve. It's not like a staircase. First pleasure, then this, then this, then this. No. But, see, I'll give you an example. I'm taking my time, I still have to go reach at 4:30, but I'll talk about 5-7 minutes. I'll give you an example. See, something like watching a movie may not make you happy always. Okay? May not make you happy always. For example, eating ice cream may not make you happy always. Sometimes it may make you happy, sometimes it may not. But the smile of a child, can there be any single instance that it will not give you joy? Can you think of any single incident? Anybody in this world can say that the smile of a child will not give you joy, and that's where pleasure and joy come. So this is where the joy comes, pleasure and then joy, and then so that's how happiness moves. So it is another thing. All of us are at made at different happiness levels. You know, it's an intrinsic level of happiness that we have. All of us have different levels of set points of happiness. कितने लोग ऐसे होते हैं, including me of course, I am also always whining critic. So always whining critic. So, you know, you have to tell them whenever they take a decision, might take this decision, but don't whine after that. Because after every achievement, after every pleasure or joy or happiness, they have to revert back to that whining critic stage. होते नहीं होते, उनका set point of happiness बहुत नीचे है. Whereas there are people whose set point of happiness is higher. They can withstand a lot of adversity, and this is also adversity quotient of some people. So हम सबका अलग set point है. तो happiness के साथ साथ हमें वो set point भी धीरे धीरे बढ़ाना होता है. कि जब हमें happiness लोअर लेवल ऑफ हैप्पीनेस मिली और फिर हम वापस कितना नीचे जाते हैं. यदि हम बहुत ज़्यादा नीचे जा रहे हैं तो बहुत हमारे ऊपर हमें काम करने की जरूरत है. और यदि हम धीरे धीरे वो नीचे जाने वाला हमारा जो लेवल है, द डाउनफॉल, जैसे हमारे शेयर मार्केट में होता है कि जब बुल रिकवरी होती है तो बुल रिकवरी में नीचे वाला पॉइंट ऊपर बढ़ने लग जाता है. तो वो नीचे वाला पॉइंट जैसे जैसे ऊपर बढ़ेगा वैसे वैसे आपकी लाइफ में ओवरऑल हैप्पीनेस जो है, रियल हैप्पीनेस बढ़ेगी. तो आई थिंक वहाँ से ये बात निकली थी दैट व्हाट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट इज नॉट सक्सेस, हैप्पीनेस. एंड लाइक मेघा जी हमेशा खुशी रहती है. Waqt Milo, she's always like I have met her a few times, but so and automatically I have seen people who are happy are always very successful because they bring a lot of positivity in their environment. So again, thank you very much, Ji, for penning down these stories, and I will look forward to Bollywood ji.
Yes.
Any help from me, and maybe after a few years, 8-9 years, maybe my story also. These will inspire me to do something bigger. Thank you very much for inviting me and wishing me this week.
Yeah.
Madam, how can we have that questionnaire? You just
We
Intelligence.
all are curious about
that question.
Wait for some time. Somebody is in the process of buying the rice.
That's-
Occasionally.
Therein might lie your entrepreneurial secret.
Yes. वही मैं बोल रही थी कि मैडम आपके पास ऑलरेडी टॉपिक है ही फ्रॉम वेयर यू कैन स्टार्ट फॉर entrepreneur journey also.
Already started.
Yes.
What your question again?
नहीं आपके पास ऑलरेडी ये चीज है ही कि आप entrepreneur बन सकते हो. What you have designed right now. वही चीज ऐसी है कि बहुत आगे जा सकते हो.
पता नहीं अब मतलब स्टार्टअप्स मैंने बहुत सारे शुरू किए हैं और अच्छे स्टार्टअप
नहीं ये स्पिरिचुअल वाला जो आपने कोई
हर प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं वो स्टार्टअप ही होता है तो but then being entrepreneur is slightly different. देखो उसके stakes ज़्यादा होते हैं तो you are putting in a lot of personal stakes बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं उसमें. जब गवर्नमेंट फोरम पे हम काम करते हैं तो stakes तो होते हैं लेकिन दूसरे तरीके के इंटेंजिबल स्टेक्स होते हैं बट यहाँ पे टेंजिबल स्टेक्स हो जाता है तो वो टेंजिबल स्टेक्स को लेकर आपको इम्पैक्ट ह्यूज इम्पैक्ट होना है तो वो एक अलग आई थिंक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इज स्लाइटली डिफरेंट एंड रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेसिटी आपकी कितनी है रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेसिटी अगेन इट वेरीज किसी की हर चीज में रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेसिटी नहीं होती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई हैव सीन वेरी सक्सेसफुल एंटरप्रेन्योर्स अकेले बाहर ट्रैवल करने में घबराती है. इतनी बड़ी रिस्क ले ली कि अपना इतना सारा पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर दिया लेकिन अकेले बाहर जाने की सोलो ट्रैवल की बात आएगी तो नहीं जा पाएगी नहीं कोई हमारे साथ चलो. तो अलग अलग टाइप की रिस्क अलग अलग लोग ले सकते हैं. तो ये जो रिस्क होती है where you are investing your savings, putting in a lot of money into some venture and then making it work and making it successful and taking that risk, it's a different type of risk altogether. तो उससे कैसे क्वेश्चन करना है अपने आप को या कैसे पहले वो रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटी डेवलप करनी है तो that's slightly different risk which I have not tried so far and I think it's difficult. It's not so easy. Not so easy.
true अभी realize
So
that
that's
yes,
yes,
yes.
share one episode. You know, few years back, I went to Saudi Arabia, and that time I had to market my products. So I wore a hijab because that was the requirement of the country, and that's how I actually started. I wore hijab, where only my face was seen, and that's how I actually started the journey. And the second year again I went 3 years continuous in a row. The second year I just wore the full gown on my clothes. The third year I just wore a Punjabi. And now I can wear a pant and t-shirt and go there. That's how the and I developed my biggest business out there.
Thank you.
The risk taking is there. That's all.
So ma'am, just a couple of wonderful takeaways from what you were speaking. My friend Mr. Deepan Vaishnav has joined us today. He lives in Ahmedabad and he asked a very empowering question when he entered the room. He said, why so many ladies are there and such few men are there? So I said, this book is about women entrepreneurs. So he said, shouldn't men be also aware of what women are doing?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a very empowering question. And secondly, you spoke about motivation and inspiration. So I have a little theory here that falling in love is motivation. but getting married and staying married with that person all your life is inspiration. But that's lack of motivation. Yeah.
Getting married is lack of inspiration. Inspired today.
No, but today I find people are so motivated they keep on falling in love.
Yes.
You know? So on that absolutely wonderful note, give a big round of applause for me. Very opening to the evening. I would invite another amazing lady on the dais, Veena Kothari, to please felicitate Dr. Anusha. Like receiving gifts left, right, and center. Coming from everywhere. That's the beauty of it. So, absolutely fantastic start to the evening for us. We want to listen to another luminary here. Pratik Patwari sir, who is the president of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and has very kindly agreed to be our guest of honor today. And he has such an illustrious record in terms of the kind of work he has done with various chambers of commerce and on the advisory board, and the way he is shaping up.
We should have a book on how men have motivated women around them to become.
Absolutely.
That's also very.
Absolutely, and we have one such man, Mr. Salim Bhatt, who is sitting right behind, very modestly and quietly.
There and their mom and in front of their relative, whatever. So that they will not speak like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's such an honor.
दरेक husband ने એવું લાગે છે કે વાઇફ નું એટલું બધું રિસ્પેક્ટ કરું છું મારી વાઇફ સામે હોય છે આપકો દેખાવે છે.
It's such an honor to have you, sir, and thank you so much for allowing us
And
this
converse is
opportunity.
also reverse भी वही होता है कि वाइफ बोलेगी मैं तो अपने हस्बैंड को इतना रुपये आदमी को पता है कितना रुपये.
No marriage is perfect.
So,
No marriage is
can we please welcome sir with a big round of applause?
Very good afternoon. Dr. Anju Sharma ma'am, I mean, she has been a guide to me for the last couple of years now. I think since I joined GCCI, I think she was one who, I still remember the Adani Chambers when she said that we need let Pathik complete all the 4 years as a president so that we have someone whom we can over the years discuss. So thank you ma'am for all your inspirational words. Mr. Hariharan, Mr. Bhavesh, Minalji, and our power pack chairperson of GCCI, Rutujaji. Of course, all the wonderful ladies here, and 13 men if I count who have all the guts to sit here without a helmet and take all the votes. So I mean, I always say not women, men are more courageous. This is because of this room. We have the courage to come here. No, but that's joke apart.
We have the women's permission to be courageous.
Yeah. So, no, it's India. I mean, a wonderful country, and I always say that it's wonderful not because we have one of the best places, one of the best economy, but because we always produce some amazing women. some amazing women entrepreneurs, amazing women politicians, businessmen, businesswomen. And why has that happened? It's not that it was just a miracle, but it goes way back. We have always let women give their space, let them grow. Somehow in that journey we have lost. It's not that our ancient theory says that we have been suppressive. It's not that. We let women have their space. But it was somewhere during this journey that some realignment was required, and which is now why we are reworking today. I still don't, I feel that it's not the right thing that they have come up with a volume 1, volume 2, right? Ma'am say that volume 3, but there should not be any such volume. There should be end. It should be a place where men, women are seen equally as responsible on either side. It's on us men who we need to give space. We need to encourage women. At the same time, you need to take a leap forward. I mean, there are no roadblocks left for you. Women have always been converting their roadblocks into their stepping stones. They have converted their odds to ease. So when you have that kind of potential, I don't think you need someone who is going to pull you back. You have that courage, you have that potential, and it's just that you need to, get it at the right time. When we are at GCCI, we know that Geeta Ben is here. She's a Secretary General. Yes, Joint Secretary General with GCCI. She's so instrumental that she would have gone through n number of presidents, but no president has ever had a courage to go against her, including me. So similarly, so that shows that why articulated women are. I mean, we always have to come back to you for certain things which are not possible by having the men out there, and that's the strength you have. You would have heard about Ahilya Holkar. I think, right? Somewhere in 17th or 18th century, she took over from the reigns of her husband, her father-in-law. It was a Maratha empire. She was the first lady who brought entrepreneurial culture to the Maratha Empire. So it was way back in 17th or 18th century. Chavi Rajawat, I mean, she's from nearby Jaipur, she's a Sarpanch now. You know that the political system in India only permits either political parties to contest and become a Sarpanch. That's the only village and the only woman in India who is today a Sarpanch, not affiliated to a political party, having given up her wonderful, illustrious educational and career, and she's there to serve. And that too against all the political parties of India. And she's there for a time now. So it's only possible when there is a fire within. And if you let that fire subside, no man in the world or no poor women in the world could help you. It's only you who could ignite that fire, you can build on that fire. And then only that's the way you start with your growth story. I've seen ma'am working, not because she's sitting here, but I have worked with various startup forums. I'm working with her in the Kaushalya University where she is the chairperson, I am a director there. And she appointed me. So that's equally important that I've been appointed by a lady. So there's nothing that we appoint you. So I have an answer to that. So you have that power, and the way she works, it's phenomenal. One bureaucrat, I would say, and I will keep it within this walls, that if a minister has to call, he don't think twice. कि अंजू मैम काम करेगी कि नहीं करेगी बोलने. So that's what she has created. So it's not that if she was willing to do it, someone has restricted her. She had the potential to do it. She built out her potential, and that's what I expect each of you to do. And it's always easier to say than it to done. And I know if I had to put it in my life, it would have been difficult. And my wife is sitting right here, so I better not keep speaking wrong for the long time. But yeah, so it gives us. So yeah, you get such opportunities very less कि आप वाइफ को बोल भी सकते हो वो रिटेलिएट भी तुरंत नहीं करेगी. So yeah, so I think tap those potentials. I think there is a world open for you. I think you are blessed to be in a country that has produced a prime minister, that has produced a women president, not one but twice. A state that has produced a women chief minister. So I think you are in just the right land, right time, you need to build on it. Another example I would cite is way back, it was 2017. Again, general elections, I mean the Vidhan Sabha elections which are coming up. Of course, the Ahmedabad was not the CM at that point, and there was some work related to the hotel industry. 2017, my dad was the president of GCCI, and he was just discussing with the deputy CM at that time on certain issues, and he said that this is must to be done. And she overheard. She was not in power. She was not the CM, but she had that potential to call the topmost office and say that Mr. Patwa is here, and if we not do this, we are going to have X, Y, Z repercussions in the upcoming elections. So that was done within, I mean, it was said that the elections are announced, and it was just announced a day before, so we cannot do any more kind of formalities, and we cannot pass a new circular. But she made it a point, told the deputy CM that it always can be done a day prior, on the current day. You can just have to sign it up on the previous day, and it will be done. So that is the courage women had at that and has today, and that was only today the entire hotel industry in Gujarat is sustained. The blow of COVID was only because in 2017 this law was eradicated, and that was banned. So that shows the potential you have, and you have to always build on it. And you will get an opportunity, just have the right opportunity. Ma'am has asked me to speak less, and ma'am, I know I had a very limited words today. I want to speak less. But again, of course, congratulating Millennium Divas. You've been doing phenomenal thing. I mean, you are encouraging. We say that the volume should not be there. There should be a number of such stories. But it's always the first day, and I would definitely love to have more volumes on this side. Someday I would also like to have a women writing on men, 25 most successful men, and sitting in such audience. But that rarely happens.
Adam's against the Eve, sir. Adam's against the odds.
So again, wishing you all the best in the world, and I'm sure that you're going to build on this. Today's discussion is not going to be just an evening on Saturday evening, and you definitely take something home, you build on it, you sleep over it. Try to think on what has been discussed today. You have an opportunity there. You have an opportunity, and if you try to build on this, there is an enormous amount of entrepreneurship that's waiting for you. So again, wishing you all the best, and we hope that such sessions are more concurrent at GCCI. Rutuja is doing a phenomenal work, but ma'am, I would like to say that men are sometimes more smarter than women.
Sometimes, not every time.
Because we make our teams. No. So that's. We want to be modest, because we get the right team.
Not every time.
कहने से, handsome कहने से, ताकतवर कहने से, powerful कहने से, किसी से भी चलता है। हमको जीने दीजिए।
मैडम, हमें कोई कहने को मिलता है, वरना हमको कोई कहता ही नहीं है। Yeah, so again, it was all because why I said Sparta, because we get the right team. I got Rutuja ji as a co-chairman because my life was well settled. She takes care of a committee well, and it doesn't come back to me. So thank you all. It was pleasure having you all today here. It's pleasure to be here discussing with you, and I'm sure that we'll carry some good memories from here. Thank you.
Well, I've been part of so many events like this, never seen this kind of a banter between chief guest and guest. It's amazing. It's brought alive. It's brought alive. And sir, if I might take some liberty here, it's very normal to forget the day of the week when your wife is in the office. It's very common. And you're also right that men are smarter than women if they marry the lady who's smarter than you. That's the most smart thing we can do. It always happens with
It's all a
people.
matter of thought.
Yeah, it's all a matter of thought. Absolutely.
It's all in the mind.
It always happens with me. They all congratulate on our marriage anniversary and all the compliments compliments go to my wife and not to me. Say happy anniversary to her, not to you. I said, boss, इतना बुरा भी नहीं है, ठीक था भी. So we made a beautiful point about Ahmedabad Holkar. We had this.
मतलब ये है कि white को भी बड़ी आती है।
So as we say, you can be happily married. You can either be happy or you can be married. So you can't be happily married. So Ahmedabad Holkar, a few years back, we had an opportunity to visit Bhubaneswar, and it was very inspiring. The tour guide actually gave us some insights about how she set up that entrepreneurial venture there, and she empowered women to come. Currently in our family, we watch that serial Ahilya. I know much of it is fiction. I don't know how much of that is reality, because there is very little written about Ahilya Bai, is what I discovered. So much of it is fiction, but it's very inspiring. It's extremely inspiring to know that a woman can, create that kind of a transformation. And in those days, where there was no WhatsApp University, there was no social media, there were no mobile phones. The kind of leverage we have today is fantastic. And I just want to add one more point here. So before we go to the magic moment, which is the unveiling of a book, which is we have a dream to, and that's why we seek your support. We have a dream to launch an women's entrepreneurship development academy. It's something we're already working on. So we are already in the.
I'm there to be approached.
Thanks, because we really need that to get it off the top. Because it's called EQ, EADS Entrepreneurship Excellence Academy. So we want to develop only women entrepreneurs. So it's a specialized academy for women entrepreneurs. But besides Bhavesh and me, we have.
हमें विश्वास नहीं करो, हमें women entrepreneurs हो. I was very taken aback. मैं नहीं सोचती थी कि इतना वर्ड आगे जा चुका है. तो I used to tell my people, ऑटोमोबाइल में, वेल्डिंग में लड़कियों को तैयार करो ना. मैडम कोई आते नहीं है. तो it was like a dream come true when I visited GCCI and NGO. GCCI में लड़कियां वेल्डिंग करती हैं. लिमिट लगा के वो वेल्डिंग कर रहे हैं. पूरा. I was really impressed. Amazing. NG motors में सारे girls हैं. पूरा ऑटोमोबाइल का असेंबली करते हैं. Good idea, women's entrepreneurship academy. सोच लो, क्योंकि entrepreneurship सिखाने से सीखते नहीं हैं. मेरा थोड़ा सा उसमें different.
Yeah, bring in those field aspects.
Entrepreneurship is more of a practical kind of thing. It's not really something which can be taught.
Yeah, but we thought we could inspire more women to take to entrepreneurship or take the business to the next level with some inputs. Finally, they have to do it. Right, so I would now request Bhavesh to please felicitate Pratik sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's have a big round of applause for her. It's not left, right, and center. It's only from one side. So we now go to the magic moment, which is the unveiling of Eames Against the Odds, Volume 2 and showcasing of Volume 1. Along with Dr. Anju Sharma and Sir, I would like to also invite Vaishnavi Vaishnav, Shilali Chattopadhyay, Shilpa Chokshi, Rekha Bhatt, Jigisha Gandhi, Tejal Masauda also to please join us on stage, and Rutuja is already there with us. So I request all of you also to join us on stage. Yeah, it was just come on stage, please come on stage. And two of our ladies, Megha Salim Bhatt and Jigisha Gandhi, have been featured in our book. So they are two of our Eames who are present live with us.
be opened?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
Congratulations. How do you feel to be?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. We are going to have you as part of our empowering panel discussion in a while. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's when we introduce formally. Thank you. Bhavesh, I'll just wait for you for a minute. One minute. So, while Bhavesh joins us back in a minute, yeah, now the sales announcement. The book is available for sale at a discounted price of 200 rupees per copy. Yeah, so the books are available there, and we have either Meenal or I think Jian. Where is Jian? So he'll be managing the counter. So you can get autographed copies from the authors. Just wait for our fireside chat.
Can I buy first?
So while we wait for Bhavesh to come back, because we thought we might have to do the author chat. So any of the ladies here would like to share anything? How are you feeling right now? Anything you want to share? Please. No, let's use the mic because it's getting recorded.
It's been my dream to I'm photographer. It's been my dream to photography. I haven't given it interest. So maybe if you're planning third book, just let me know. I'll be very happy to collaborate as a photographer.
Thank you. What's your name? Thank you so much.
All men have bought it first.
All the men have Thank you. Thank you, and we appreciate it.
Now we need an autograph. Both of us.
Yes, we are there for a while.
Yeah.
So, I think we move to the next part quickly. So, I would now like to. invite our Eve, who was featured in volume 1. Dr. Anju Sharma also mentioned her name with so much power. So it's Dr. Megha Bhatt, who is the founder of Sino Tech, and she's so passionate about teaching children science and building a business around it. It's absolutely amazing to have Dr. Mega, but please read her story, volume 1. We have two Eves are present with us, as I said, Dr. Mega, but then Isha Gandhiji. So if you should stand up. So that everybody knows you. Then Isha, fantastic entrepreneur herself, who featured in the second volume. So it's our honor and privilege to have both of you with us today. So we now go into the fireside chat. The authors are going to give their perspective over the book. So over to Megha ji for the moderation. Yeah, so we have the center.
Respected dignitaries of the dais, on the dais, thank you for this opportunity today. Being in state of Gujarat, I think I would really like to start with at least one line in Gujarati first. So, આપણે એવું કહેવાય કે જે દૂધમાં ખાંડની જેમ ભળે, પોતાનું અસ્તિત્વ ગુમાવે અને સંપૂર્ણતઃ મીઠાશ ફેલાવે એ સ્ત્રી, એવું કહેવાતું, બરાબર ને? પણ હવે આપણે બધા અહીંયા જે ભેગા થયા છીએ અને આ જે પ્રકારની સ્ત્રીની આપણે વાત કરીએ છીએ એમાં ડેફિનેટલી આપણે આ ઉક્તિને થોડી બદલીએ કે જે દૂધમાં ખાંડની જેમ ભળે, પોતાનું અસ્તિત્વ જાળવી રાખે અને છતાંય મીઠાશ ફેલાવી જુદી કીર્તિ પ્રસ્થાપિત કરે એનું નામ સ્ત્રી. તો આઈ થિંક આપણે એવું કરીએ કે આજે આ ફાયરસાઇડ ચાટમાં જે લોકોએ આવી સ્ત્રીઓને એક પોતાનું સ્થાન આપ્યું બુકની અંદર એક પુસ્તકના સ્વરૂપે, I think let's have a round of applause for them. So, and I would definitely like to begin as, that first question, without, moving ahead with a lot of time. I think we are already late. So, what inspired you to write this book? My very first question.
So, I remember, see, I have always been a motivational speaker, a corporate trainer. So, I had very little exposure to startup ecosystem. So, a few years ago, when I got introduced to Bhavesh through a common friend, and I happened to attend one of the startup summits, which was happening in Mumbai. And it was one of my very early exposures to understanding the startup ecosystem. And I remember a session was being taken by Dr. Revati, on whom a film is also being made now. So, came from a very humble background, she had tremendous pain in their journey. Now she built a very robust business, empowering other women. So the thought came to me at that time that why not actually capture such stories of women entrepreneurs through a book? And that's when the idea got discussed, about 5 years ago or something. That's how the idea got discussed. And then we tried to put together an architecture, bring it out. It failed a couple of times, it did not take off. And finally, Bhavesh, to all his credit, during the COVID, he kind of pushed me hard and said, Hari, now let's work on this. And that's when, I think within 3 months, once we started working on it, within 3 months we had the first volume out. And that's how we launched the first volume in August 2021. And COVID was just kind of saying goodbye, not fully gone, but it's just making us a slow exit. And then within a year, we have been able to bring out volume 2. So that's the genesis of how it happened. The inspiration obviously came from watching these women entrepreneurs go about their business. And we have very limited representation of women in leadership positions in the corporate world. That's a fact. And that's a fact that needs to change. And secondly, we have very few women who really take to entrepreneurship. And those who take to it, they don't make a noise about it, or they don't get enough support to scale it. But there's some amazing, this country is so huge, this country is so large, it's incredible. I've traveled across the country and I find it amazing the energy and the potential that lies. And when we started reading his stories, it was amazing that such kind of businesses are, the kind of business you're building, for example. Such kind of businesses are thriving in this country, and it's being driven by so many amazing women. So we are very inspired, and I always tell that it's for purely selfish reasons that we are bringing out this book, because every page is an inspiration for us. And more the better. It's amazing. Each of the stories are absolutely amazing. So we have a lot of plans around the book. The series will continue. And the best thing is we are now women have started asking us, can my story also be featured in the book? And I think slowly that is.
I think more than anything else, for the audience sitting here, I would really like to ask you this question: that out of these 50 stories, of 50 women, what quality would you say that was common amongst these entrepreneurs?
So I think before we go to that question, I think one very interesting point I think I wanted to mention. So COVID has been a real tester for a lot of us, right? Not only from a business perspective, but I think from a personal perspective also. We were wanting to launch this book in the month of April 2020 at event that we do. It's a flagship event called Women Power Summit and Awards.
Right.
And this was exactly 18th April 2020 at Gurgaon. And unfortunately, this lockdown happened. It's like your dream coming down, shattering on you, and trying to figure out. Right? And then this whole story went to the back burner. It was still there at the back end that we need to do something about it. I think what helped us to get this first book out was that burning desire to do something for a project that we had already taken that step ahead, right? And then this lockdown was uncertainty, everything was going, in an acquired fashion. We don't know what is going to happen to us as well, right? And then there's a lot of chaos around that. There was a small window which opened up in the month of January when the first COVID wave actually, was subsiding around. So I saw an opportunity. I said, look, let's at least do Women Power Summit, because that was something that used to keep happening every year. And we were launching an award initiative also. And there's a difference on awards happening in the country, and the way we wanted to do it also. We wanted to make it unadulterated, is what the word that we learned in fact in one of our Pune initiatives as well. Till that time, the book was not in picture. It was still at the back end. In the month of June, we decided that we should go ahead and somehow get it done. Right? So this book has actually been born in not less than 45 days. 7th of July, we go ahead and talk to the publishers and we get it done. 5th of August at Bombay Stock Exchange, in presence of around 60 women entrepreneurs. That too, there was a restriction of not more than 50 people. Right? This book gets launched. And we were all, really happy that finally this took off. But again, as God's wish, or maybe whatever it is, right? We never thought that we will go into volume 2 as well, right? So if you see the kind of journey that happened, I think somewhere there was this push from all the women entrepreneurs as well. We had received 250 stories. Going through 250 stories was also a big task. And trust me, we had to literally make sure that none of the stories go without 2 reviews. None of these stories goes without 2 reviews, because if we miss that one inspiration, I think it would have been an injustice. So we always say that this 25 stories of the volume 1, we don't call it volume 1. If you see, it does not have volume 1, because we have never planned volumes. It happened. And thank you to all of you, all the 25, to help us set that, that platform, that we could do it without taking a single rupee from any woman entrepreneur. And we will keep it that way. We have promised to ourselves that we will not take a single rupee from any woman entrepreneur who we will feature in 25 books, volumes here on. The only promise that we would want from them is to make sure that it is as unedited, as genuine.
Yes.
In fact, to an extent that we have only edited words such as and or corrections, hyphen, that's it. No editing, because we wanted to keep it as presented to us. So that is something that we are very proud of, because I think it takes a lot of effort, a lot of guts to do something which people never dare about. And I think that inspiration came from those 250, 300 stories that we kept reading. And we still really feel that there is so much to be done. And this whole roadshow is a part of that entire journey, that can we have more women entrepreneurs coming? Can we have more inspiration coming? I think this keeps us driving. I don't know, my wife keeps telling me that you have been living teams against the odds as well, because you keep fighting against the odds as well. Come to your point, I think, what is it that we are looking for? I think we're looking for creating a kind of ecosystem which gives equal opportunities. Right? So, for example, when we started Brilliant Divas, people started saying, why are you, trying to do a gender bias and trying to, entrepreneurs are entrepreneur. Right? It is male or female, doesn't matter as well. I say that, look, there is a word called, women empowerment. I personally feel that no one needs empowerment. I think, women don't need empowerment, you're already empowered. We all need men, women, irrespective of sex, gender, right? We all need encouragement. I think this is where it comes from.
Would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, so one of the common themes, if you see the title itself, Teams Against the Odds. And yes, as you also said, we've got excellent reviews about the title itself.
Yes.
People love the title. It was a splash of inspiration and it occurred to us. Common thing is resilience. Okay? And we have rejected stories where women entrepreneurs are very successful. But that spirit of struggle is not evident. I'm not saying that if you don't struggle, don't feature in the book. I'm not saying that. I mean, if you have achieved something in life without great struggle, great. But it's not about the story alone. It's about the energy of the storyteller. And when you read the stories, you can personally connect with the energy of the storyteller. There is a passion. You can live that journey with that particular lady. And for us, and I come from a journalism background, so I was a journalist in the initial years of my career, and I used to do a lot of editing. So I know a thing or two about the English language and the editing process and all that. And one of the things we looked at was, does it communicate to the reader, or is it being just written just to be featured in a book, or there is a passion to share the story? Where the Eves Against the Odds becomes a platform where you can share that story. So we wanted to see that element of struggle, what they have gone through, and some very common struggle points which women do experience, and we know about it. But when you read it, you really start feeling about it. Gender bias, not getting enough support from family members, parents not supporting. There is always a discrimination between the girl child and the boy child. Then it's how society looks at it. And these are all there as a running theme around many of these stories. And some of the women entrepreneurs have taken bold decisions. They have decided to walk away from their loved ones to live a life of conviction. It's tough, but they have done that. We had one such lady share the story completely unabashedly in the Pune launch. She was like, this is where I am, and I made enemies, and I'm okay with that. Kind of thing. So one of the ladies, Miss Bedi, so that was very inspiring to see how a daughter has inspired or empowered her mother, and that's the and more we are seeing people who are young, who are making a difference to the entrepreneurial world. They are enriching the family business. So we were at the Midas Institute of Entrepreneurship in Pune last week, where Pooja Shah, who is featured in our volume 2, her father, Mr. Parag Shah, is an institution. He set up a same university. He has been a serial entrepreneur. Now for the daughter to take over and take it to the next level, run an entrepreneurship institute, run a business around it, it's fantastic. So it's all about resilience. If I were to just put it in one word, I would say it's resilience, it's persistence. But it's not ordinary persistence. Now when I say as a male entrepreneur, in 13 years that I have also struggled to set up my business, my levels of persistence are quite different if I were to say compared to comparing it with a woman, because she also has to manage her family. Society does not expect you to go and cook in the kitchen. Thanks for that, because I don't think they leave the food at the time. But women are not expected to give up anything and do something. You have to do that, and you also have to find a space to do this also. And we all know how tough it is to be an entrepreneur, especially now post-pandemic. Post-2008, it's not been easy to be an entrepreneur in the recession. That hit us in 2008. And all that you read about the great India story, we all know the reality on the ground. There is an India story, yes, but there are many hidden facets which are not visible. So I think it's kudos. It's kudos to the women like you, like all of you, who are able to break those barriers. I don't know how you do it, but you do it, and you deserve to be featured. Absolutely deserve to be featured.
I think my last question to you would be that what next? As far as this book is concerned, and how are you taking up this plan forward?
Ramesh also answered that. International editions are something that we are considering. We're looking at why have Eves Against Odds only from India. In fact, few of our entrepreneurs have already spread their wings to places like Singapore, Dubai, and other places. And so they're already there somewhere. But it's still a very focused Indian edition. We want to probably take it to Dubai, we want to take it to Singapore, maybe Canada. And it almost sounds like some very wishful thinking that's happening. But we have started to believe in that it is possible. So if somebody would have told us when the first volume came out that you also probably do a US edition one day. So we ourselves might have laughed at that. But I think it's no longer the case. So that's one. Second is the academy I spoke about. And I think this is a project which very, very close to our heart. It has to take off. And we need everybody's support. Whether you are there in the book, or you are not there in the book, or you will be in the book sometime later in the future, whatever may happen. But I think Eves Against the Odds. You see, I know that Anju ma'am did make a statement about ultimately you learn entrepreneurship on the job. Of course, there is no substitute for that. But there is always this thing about formal learning. It gives you some foundation.
It gives some direction.
Yeah, it gives you a direction.
Because women, they are already empowered. They are
Absolutely.
They have a support. They don't know what to do.
Absolutely.
That's where you and your academy would come into
Absolutely. And yes, there is no substitute for experience. But I think people sharing their experience, their insights, it gives you more encouragement. It gives you more self-belief. It gives you a process. And that's something we will be now, if I were to use the word, troubling our Eves in terms of supporting us, to kick off the academy. That's a dream.
And there are a lot of aspects to business, like
Yes.
design thinking or angel funding or whatever one looks at. People are not aware about each and every aspect of it. So if they are open to learning, I guess it's always a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think, few points that Hari helped me add. Right? One is yes, we never thought about a volume 2 as I said, right? But today, within 1 year, 2 volumes out. I think phenomenal support came in. Volume 1, I remember, last month when I was going through all the stats that we have, we would have sold 1,000 plus copies, okay, over a period of 1 year. What has happened is with volume 2, in the last 5 weeks or 6 weeks or so, we've sold more than 600 copies. So that's a phenomenal jump, and that kept giving us more conviction that I think the journey has just begun. We are looking at local editions. So, for example, today's initiative is going to help us reach out to all of you, help us connect to all of you that maybe we could have a Gujarat edition, maybe we could have a Delhi edition, maybe we could have a Himachal edition, we could have a Haryana edition, Karnataka edition. So we are not saying that it's just India. We are saying that we go global, we go local down to even tier 2, tier 3 cities. I think we are committed for around 10 editions at least by 2025, and I'm not sure. This is something that we keep talking to ourselves and keep reminding ourselves that I think if we can do 2 editions in 1 month within a span of 1 year, I think with the pace that we are going, I think we should be able to touch 10. And I am manifesting it. Like I would believe in a lot of things, but when we think, right, it somehow helps us keep reminding. We are looking at maybe 250 women entrepreneurs standing, on the stage holding 10 editions of the book, 1,000 women entrepreneurs, cheering, all of us saying that look, it's a collective effort. So I think that's possible, and that can only be possible when we come all together, irrespective of where we belong to, what we belong to. So this is something that we firmly believe as a community, as a collaborative platform together. And I think thanks to all of you. I again keep telling that this could not have been possible with today 50. We were looking 25, 50, 75, and it keeps going. So Chalti Ka Naam Zindagi is what I say to this. And thanks GCCI, thanks all the partners, to believe in us. Because I'm sure as an author, a lot of people here they know that it is not about selling books. It is about being consistent and persistent in what you want to achieve. And for us, it's not about making money. Honestly, it's about creating impact. I believe that build value and the valuation will follow. So this is what both of us have committed to a dream that we want to live and leave a legacy behind. That look, there's something so beautiful that happened that we could add that drop of water to the ocean of change that can change the world around and make it more beautiful. So that's the thought that we wanted to do.
So let me, thank you Bhaveshbhai, let me try summing up the whole session. I think what Madam said and what Pratikbhai said, and other than the two of you. So there are many gender roles socially constructed that are oppressive and need social transformation. While it is important to both the genders to participate in the gender development interventions and initiatives, more interventions are required for women to bring balance in the gender relations and power equations. So my friend, as he rightly said, I think let's try building value together, right? As you rightly said, building value to whatever you're doing. I think we as women, all of us can help them do that by, a hand holding or supporting them by spreading the word for these books and for these 50 women who are already covered and looking forward to having you all being covered one day in the upcoming books. So thank you, I think from my side.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Megha, you are requested to stay back. We move to the...
Excuse me.
Yeah.
May I say this?
we're going to have a quick panel discussion now, and that is the second last item on the agenda because the last item is tea and snacks. So please don't miss that out. And I'm just going to invite the panelists on stage quickly. I would request you to say a few things about yourself. I think that will be far more, that will do far more justice to the introduction than I really thought about it. Yeah. So, Megha is already there. This is going to be moderated by Tejal Vasavda, Director, American Corner, Ahmedabad. Vaishali Vaishnav, founder of Multitasking Mommies. Vaishali, welcome. Vyali Chattopadhyay, Executive Chief. Yeah, he had some other slightly running red shirt. But Vyali Chattopadhyay is Executive Director, Thai Ahmedabad. Shilpa Joshi, founder, House of Marigold and Head Thai Women Ahmedabad. And Megha is already with us, and of course, Chairperson, GCCI Business Women Community, Rukuja. Can we have another mic?
Namaskar and a very good evening to lovely ladies and a very handsome female we have around here. My name is Tejal Vasavda, and as Hari mentioned that between this session and next we have about very few moments, so all of us we won't take much time because I'm sure that we all are a little hungry and we are wanting to go out. So with this, let me begin this wonderful session. So first of all, let me congratulate Hariharanji, Bhaveshji, Minalji, and all lovely ladies who are part of this, wonderful 2 volumes. And I would like to start with the lady who is with me, sitting next to me, and was also featured in volume 1, Dr. Megha Bhatt. Megha Bhatt, great feeling that, having known to you, everybody I think in Ahmedabad, more or less people know you by Sinotech. So my first question, and a very, very straight question to you is, why scientist? Because we are from a generation, right, where we were given that chokri doctor bane, engineer, chalo bane to bane, baki doctor is the one, MB gynecologist. Now girls are kind of, jhanda gathering right there, also starting from orthodontics to orthopedic to cardiac. But when we are from a generation wherein we were studying, a regular BA, become BSc, how come science?
Thank you, Tejal, for such a beautiful question. Trust me, જો આ ક્વેશ્ચન શાળામાં જાઉં ત્યારે દીકરીઓના કે કોઈ પણ શાળા સ્કૂલ જેવી સરસ સ્કૂલમાં જેમાં સરસ બધી બુરખા પહેરેલી 1,300 છોકરીઓ બેઠી હોય ત્યારે મજા આવે આ સવાલનો જવાબ આપવાની. પણ અહીંયા ચલાવી દઈએ. એટલે એવું કરીએ કે ધારો કે 1 મિનિટ માટે એ લોકોને આંખો બંધ કરાવીને એવું પૂછીએ કે ચાલો તમને સાયન્ટિસ્ટ એવો શબ્દ બોલો એટલે શું દેખાય? તો આલ્બર્ટ આઇન્સ્ટાઈનની જેમ એમ કે સરસ વાકડિયા વાળ, એક સરસ સફેદ કોટ, ચશ્મા, એવું એટલું બધું આવે, પણ એમાં ક્યારેય એવું ના આવે કે કોઈ સુંદર સરસ સ્ત્રી હોય, સરસ વાળ હોય, સરસ સાડી પહેરેલી હોય, બરાબર? પણ એવું કંઈ આઈ થિંક રિસર્ચનું પેશન બહુ મોટી વસ્તુ હોય છે. અને આઈ થિંક એવું લાગે કે તમને કોઈ વસ્તુ માટે એવું થાય કે આ વસ્તુ બને છે તો એ શું કામ બને છે, આખી વાત એ જાણવાની જે જિજ્ઞાસા છે, આઈ થિંક એ તમને ત્યાં સુધી ખેંચી જાય.
Wonderful, and thank you so much for a very crisp and very apt answer to this. Follow-up question to this is, since you were part of the first volume, and as they mentioned that it's just a book, how did you like the concept, and how do you feel when you got a call from Bhavesh Bhai saying that we want to feature you? What was your feeling of that?
Such a fantastic question. Trust me, एक जरा पण एडवेન્ચરસ વ્યક્તિત્વ ન હોવાને કારણે પોતાની એક્સપર્ટાઇઝ પર આગળ આવવાને કારણે કે ખૂબ જ સપોર્ટિવ ફેમિલી હોવા છતાં પણ ધારો કે દરેક સ્ત્રીને એવો ભાગ આવતો હોય કે પોતાની આઈડેન્ટિટી દરેક જગ્યાએ પ્રૂવ કરવી પડે કે તમે ક્યાંકથી તમે પરણીને આવ્યા એટલે નવા શહેરમાં ફરીથી નવેસર ફરી તમારા હસબન્ડની ટ્રાન્સફર થઈ ગઈ એટલે તમે બીજા દેશમાં છો એટલે ફરીથી નવેસર ફરી પાછા તમે તમારા પોતાના જ દેશમાં આવ્યા પણ તમે ફરી પાછું નવેસરથી ચાલુ એટલે આઈ થિંક એવું લાગે કે સ્ત્રીના કેસમાં આ વસ્તુ વારે વારે આવતી હોય છે that every time you have to try proving yourself at every step. So I think આવી જ્યારે તમારી જર્ની હોય અને છતાં પણ તમે દરેક ક્ષણે આગળ આવી ગયા હો કે ના મારામાં પડેલું હતું અને આવ્યું દરેક ફેમિલીના સપોર્ટ સાથે અને જુદી રીતે અને આટલું સરસ રીતે if it could be published, I think I'm thankful to Bhavesh Bhai for having me that phone call and thank you to Hariharan ji also. So I think it was an amazing feeling.
Excellent. Congratulations, Megha, on this. And as Bollywood gave, wonderful, titles for women like Dhakad Hai, and I think none of us are less than that. બહાર નીકળો તો ખબર પડે કો ગાડીને ઠોકી જાય પછી જો અસલી સ્વરૂપ ઝાંસીનું કેવી રીતે બહાર આવે છે. So with this, I'm really sorry. I don't mean anything less, but in this male-dominating world, when we see the women who are kind of making their own place, having their own space. In India, 2020, I was kind of preparing myself that from 8.6 to now we are at 13.76, wherein women are entrepreneur and they are part of the economy. That's wonderful. Of course, 580 million out of this, just 8.5 million is women are kind of contributing to the economy, but they have started doing it. So I have two beautiful ladies who are on my right hand side. Anybody can start. That how was your journey so far? To reach and to bring to this level, ma'am.
So if I'll start with my journey, like Anju ma'am said that कोई भी एक ladies journey चालू करनी હોય ત્યારે always very difficult હોય છે. પહેલા તો તમારે એક સ્ટેજ સુધી પોતાની જાતને પ્રૂવ કરવાનું હોય છે. મેં મારી જર્ની very late in age સ્ટાર્ટ કરી, અરાઉન્ડ 38 years મેં મારી જર્ની સ્ટાર્ટ કરી. મને વોચીસનો મારો પેશન હતો ફ્રોમ માય વેરી ચાઇલ્ડહુડ અને મારે એ પેશનને જ ફોલો કરવું હતું. પણ એના માટે ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર કોઈ કોર્સ જ નહોતો જે તમને વોચીસ વિશે શીખવાડે. પણ તો બી મારે મૂકીને બીજું કંઈ જ નહોતું કરવું. ના ફોર દેટ મેં ઘણા બધા કોર્સીસ ચાલુ કર્યા. 38 વર્ષે શરૂ કર્યું ભણવાનું. બિફોર 15-16 years જ્યારે કોઈ આવી રીતે ફિમેલ અને વેરી વેલ ટુ ડુ ફેમિલીની ભણવા જાય ત્યારે 16-17 વર્ષના છોકરાઓની સાથે બેસીને ભણવાનું અને એ લોકો એવરી સિંગલ ડે તમારી ઠેકડી જ ઉડાવે કે અમને ઘરમાં કંઈ કામ નથી એટલે અહીંયા આવીને ટાઈમ પાસ કરે છે. હવે એ જ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ મને લેક્ચર્સ માટે બોલાવે છે. ઇન્ક્લુડિંગ સર વોઝ 25 years old અને એ બી મને એની અંદર અમારે એક રાઇનો કરીને એક સિસ્ટમ શીખવાની હતી. એની અંદર એક બી પોઈન્ટ મિસ આઉટ થાય તો તમારી એન્ડ ડિઝાઇન બહાર નાખે અને એ લોકો બધા ગ્રુપ થઈ ગયું હતું અને હાથે કરીને મને પોઈન્ટ ના શીખવાડે. બિંગ ઇન્ટુ ફેમિલી વિથ 2 daughters ઘણો બધો ટાઈમ નહોતો મળ્યો ટુ ફોલો કમ્પ્યુટર ને બધું મારા માટે ઘણું નવું હતું એ એજમાં. અને એ લોકો બધા એક્સપર્ટ હતા અને એ લોકો હાથે કરીને આપણે પેલા કોઈ રેગિંગ થતું હોય સ્કૂલની અંદર અને હું મારી 2 daughters પાસે ઘરે જઈને રડું કે આ લોકો બધા મને આવું હેરાન કરે છે, તમે લોકો કોઈને ના કરતા આવું. સો ધેટ વોઝ ધ સ્ટોરી. અને એવી રીતે 2.5 years સુધી
મિકેનિઝમ શીખવાડે. Now for that હું લોકલ ઘડિયાળી પાસે માણેકબાગની અંદર 3 માળ સીધા મકાનમાં ચડીને બપોરે જે ટાઈમ મળે એ ટાઈમે ગરમીની અંદર એક પેલા નાના પંખાની અંદર અઢી કલાક બેસીને એની પાસે ઘડિયાળનું મિકેનિઝમ શીખી અને then I have started my journey at the age of around 40 and a half. અને પછી લાગ્યું અને હા આટલું બન્યા પછી બી જ્યારે મારે વોચ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીની અંદર એન્ટર થતું ત્યારે it was a male dominated society. આજે બી વોચ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીની અંદર મેઇનલી વર્લ્ડ ઓવરમાં very less CEOs are there જે વોચની અંદર કરે છે. So against all wherever I am going એ લોકોના મેલ જ હોય અને મેં why you want to do this हमको दे दो हम कर लेंगे ये आपका काम ही नहीं है ये करो आप इतना कर लो बाकी का हम कर लेंगे. Then to do that effort कि नहीं ये मैं ही करूँगी पूरा, and that was the most difficult part. Again with that family में everyone was जरूरत क्या है, there is no need of doing this, why you want to do this. So all with this the same is against odds. जब मैंने सुना तब I feel really touched कि yeah you have to fight against so many odds when you really want to achieve and become an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bhati. And she has also talked about the challenges that she had faced. You know, so every journey has challenges. Ma'am, you are heading GCCI, Women Wearing and the entrepreneur. What are your observations? What do you think that where are we today?
Should I start with where are we or with my introduction?
Of course, your introduction.
Okay, so a very inspiring story.
Thank you so much.
And absolutely thrilled to know that you have such a good passion and started your work in the podcast. Thank you. Absolutely.
She is my faculty for the academy.
So when I talk about myself, I started going to work at the age of 16-17. 12th standard vacation was when I started assisting my dad. I would go to a ceramic factory and make this. So that is the journey from where I started. Born in a Gujju family, business is in my veins. So absolutely business નું જ મગજ હતું પહેલેથી. એટલે afterwards I was destined to do my studies and come back, but I always said I want to do something different. So I started we used to make sanitary ware, and sanitary ware at Morbi is very popular. So in Ahmedabad we could not compete the rates of Morbi. They are not family language. They don't have professionals, and we from a family oriented business background, we depend on professionals. So we realized our business to आपको बंद नहीं कर सकते. So I said no, but we have good customers. So we decided let's tie up with few factories in Morbi. We'll do the branding. We'll continue our brand, and we started manufacturing completely. And trust me, it's a long journey from ceramics to food. Whereas at Delma, I started a food company. It's been a long way, starting again from scratch, again walking those roads in Dubai na Alras market hoy ke pachi Sri Lanka no market hoy, and going on the road and trying to find the first customer for you when you want to start your factory right from scratch. It's a ceramic background hoy and food ma challenging has been. But God has been great. Family support has been amazing. I believe for every woman to succeed, there was बहुत important है एक finance for the business now. And second is family support. क्योंकि family husband બધા supportive હોય ને તો જ આપણે બધું છોડીને આગળ આપણી dream પૂરી કરવા જઈ શકીએ. So that is the background I got, and this is what I am today. Today we export ceramics and foods to more than 45 countries. But I'm absolutely passionate about what I do, and I love it. GCCI chairperson, something came out of the blue. I was active only for 8 months in the committee. It came on me, I took it up as a challenge. Okay, let's see how I can give back to the society. Let me see how I can help others grow. I'm already an entrepreneur, I've already gained enough, so let me see how much support I can give to others to fulfill their dreams, and the only reason I'm here is to help others grow.
Super. Excellent. So when you say that you are here to help others, what are your observations? What do you think that when it comes to women entrepreneur or motivation, where are we?
So, both good question, but looking at the time, a very recent example. I went it's the gender resource center, which is a nodal body, which is under the women childcare matter. ये लोगों अपनों आँखों नौ एक बंधारण कर रहा है. So there was a policy that was passed, and now they are reframing the policy. So they have called women.
I think Anju ma'am was to come that day,
but she couldn't make it.
So
yes.
she is in charge of that policy.
Yes, she is. And me and Sachi, we got the opportunity to be there, and we tried our bit to give in those inputs. But along with us, 25 women from all parts of the world came. Not Gujarat, not world. But when you say where you see women right now, I लोगों ने केवा प्रश्न में खबर के ગામડામાં આપણે પોલિસી છે કે ખેતી કરે ખેડૂત બરાબર પણ તમને ખબર છે 80% વુમન ખેતી કરે
છે વેરી ટ્રુ
અને એ વુમનના નામ નથી કોઈ જમીનમાં સો આજે જ્યારે એમને ધંધો કરવો હોય when they want to work they want money they don't have any property in that area they don't have anything to pledge જેના માટે એ લોકોને પૈસા મળે અને એ લોકો આગળ કામ કરી શકે.
Only 2% have their names on paper.
અને એ પણ એટલા માટે હશે હું આ વસ્તુનું મેં થોડુંક કામ કરેલું છે કારણ કે જ્યારે ઇલેક્શન કે જ્યારે આવવાનું હોય ત્યારે લેડીઝના નામ અંદર લગાડી અને પુરુષ એની પાછળ કરી શકે સો એટલા માટે જે 2% હશે હવે એમાં બીજો કોઈ નો ઉદ્દેશ્ય નથી એનો સબસિડી મળે એબ્સોલ્યુટલી યસ
આપણે તો બધા બહુ પ્રિવિલેજ છીએ.
Yeah, we are blessed. We are blessed.
આપણો દેશમાં બહુ કરુણતા છે. There are so many things that we can do for them, and to be a part, to help, to give suggestions for the policy was a privilege, and અમુક મારા તો business related વધારે suggestions હતા, which I passed on, which were also noted down. A simple thing like આપણે કોઈ બી નાનું એસએમઈ હોય એમએસએમઈ હોય આપણે બધા નાના ધંધાથી શરૂ કરીએ છીએ પહેલા તો ટોપ પર આપણે હોતા સો એમાં આપણે એવું છે કે વુમન ગેટ સમ બેનિફિટ્સ રાઈટ પણ આપણે જ્યારે ઉદ્યોગ આધારમાં જઈ અને આપણે ટાઈપ કરવા જઈએ છીએ કે આમાં વુમેન ઓરિએન્ટેડ કંપની તો એમાં there is an option for ST but there's no option for women to take it. જો એ ટિક કરવાનો ઓપ્શન હોય ને if we are more than 50% owners of the company તે બધા benefits આપણે directly મળી જાય. So what I am trying to help is if I can make some small changes or give some recommendations at these policy levels which would help the entire state. So that's
awesome.
what I would like to do.
Awesome, thank you so much. So with this I have on my left I have a very vibrant lady Vaishali Vaishnav starts with VB. So Vaishali, when you started multitasking movies, I know the story and I know the journey that how you started. What do you think? Because I know that you are dealing with a very small and micro level business owners, and that too multitasking moms, so who are mommies as well and who are running a small business. What are your observations? What do you think that are we going on a right track? Are we failing somewhere, or do we need to add something to that?
Well, multitasking mommies completed 3.5 years, and how I reached to the point that I founded this community, I would like to take a minute to share my small journey in short. That there was a time when I was into corporate for almost 13-14 years, and just for the sake of now doing something of my own, I left my job. My last job was in 2010 with ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company, and I had worked in various traveling around, and within 2 months of my traveling, I got married. And that's where the real journey. That's where the real journey begins. But my corporate journey was also not that easy, because coming from a patriarchal society, from a family which was with a typical patriarchal mindset, I was always told, why do you want to do a job? Everybody in our family is either a lawyer or a financial professional or something. Why do you want to do a job? And that's where I realized that no, I want to stand on my own feet, I want to have my own identity, and that was the first fight which began. So that's how I fought. I started working, and somebody had told me at that time that Vaishali, when you want to be heard, when you want to take an independent decision in your life, you need to be financially independent. Absolutely. And that thing at the age of 18, 19 got into my head that આપણે ઘણું કંઈક કરવું હશે ને તું નહીં કરવા મળે કારણ કે હું દીકરી છું. તો જો મારે એ કરવું હશે તો મારે ફાઇનાન્શિયલી ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ હોવું જરૂરી છે. તો એટ ધેટ ટાઈમ મને કોઈ એવું પેશન નહોતું આવતું મારા મગજમાં કે હું આ કરું પેલું કરું. હું કંઈ પણ કરીશ પણ હું પૈસા કરીશ. And then my dad was like, okay, now she wants to do something, let her do. She'll find a job for herself. I did it. I did job in these various sectors in these 13, 14 years before getting married. I got married and I didn't take a chance to get back to the job again. I thought I'll be doing something of my own, or at least assist my husband in his business. And really कहावत है English में कि when life throws at you, take a shot of tequila. So that was you say that take a shot of tequila, because का case actually it's true. Life has बता आपने कहता है कि then life was cakewalk and then she lived happily ever after. No. एक वीक एक दिवस लेमन આપણા ઉપર આવતા જ હોય છે. અને my life is a typical example of that, and I've always made that. I always had a shot of tequila, because લગ્ન કરીને જ્યારે હનીમૂન થી પાછા આવ્યા ત્યારે in a family where family business was going on, we were told that okay, now you don't need to come to the office. Me and my husband were told, because it so happened that they were insecure that a smart girl like her will join the family, and if she joins the business, many other things will come out, because my husband was the youngest one in the family, and that's how we were left with 2 suitcases alone in the city of Ahmedabad with my husband and my 1-year-old daughter. So that's how my journey started here, and I was quite confident from day one. I always told my husband, and that's how I have been going around. And I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Okay, I started with my 1-year-old daughter. I started a small online business. I knew no one in the space of Ahmedabad when I came here 9 years back. कोई ना नोटी ओळखती हूँ, पण through my social media presence, I started. What I had with me was my mobile phone. So that's how I started promoting my business. I learned so many things about social media that now almost I'm going everywhere and talking about how to promote your business on social media. So that helped me. The other thing which helped me with some women here with whom I connected in the beginning of my life here in Ahmedabad, who inspired me. I must say that Megha and Shilpa, I have been following them regularly on Facebook when I came to Ahmedabad, and they are some of the women from day one who have inspired me. So, आखी journey जहाँ I was, going through कितना business करे, कितना फेल गए, and चाले आज कर सकते. At that time I realized that somewhere women face a lot of challenges in their lives, not just in the family but in their personal life and within herself as well. So that's where that inspired me to start a community called Multitasking Mommies. કારણ કે હું જ્યારે ઇન્વોલ્વ થતી, આજે કદાચ હું એમ કહીશ કે હું જે પણ અત્યારે છું ને, તો એ only and only is because of the kind networking platform I have got when I reached Ahmedabad. And Ahmedabad, मुझे enterprising atmosphere છે ને અને networking ની જો opportunity મળે છે અહીંયા, it is mind blowing. GCCI ની સૌથી પહેલી meet એકવાર મને કોઈ invite કરી હતી ત્યારે મેં attend કરેલી. I think all the veterans are out there અને Shiven પછી રેખા મેમ બધા જ. So you know ઘણા બધા women છે. હજી તમે મને કહેશો ને તો મારા Facebook માંથી હું લિસ્ટ કહીશ જેણે મને ઇન્સ્પાયર કરી છે લાઈફમાં. So that is the reason I started this community કે women જ્યાં અટકતી હોય છે ને ત્યાં at least you know આપણે કોઈ હોય હાથ પકડવા, કોઈક સમજાવવા માટે. કારણ કે મને ઘણી બધી જગ્યાએ એવા અનુભવ થયા હતા કે એમ હતું કે કદાચ કોઈક સમજાવવા માટે હોત ને તો આટલો બધો ટાઈમ વેસ્ટ ના કર્યો હોત એ વસ્તુ. So that's how we came up with this community of multitasking mommies where we say that we support, inspire and motivate each other. આપણને કોઈ બહારથી ઇન્સ્પિરેશન મળે ને આપણે પણ women એકબીજાને ઇન્સ્પાયર હંમેશા કરતી જ હશે. And it always happens.
Question was that you are dealing with micro businesses. So, and especially all the ladies. So, what do you think? Where are we? Are we going wrong somewhere? Or we still need a lot of handholding?
આપણે જે એક માઇન્ડસેટમાંથી આવી રહ્યા છીએ ને એ રીતે કરવા માંગે છે, કરી રહી છે, ત્યારે I would like to say કે ક્યાંક હજી આપણે અંદરથી આપણી જાતને સમજવાની કે અને આપણે છે ને એ જે બે ત્રણ રોલ, આટલા બધા રોલ જે આપણે કરીએ છીએ ને મલ્ટીટાસ્કિંગ, એમાં ક્યાંક હજી કન્ફ્યુઝ થઈ જઈએ છીએ, ક્યાંક એમાં અટવાઈ જઈએ છીએ એ બધા રોલ્સમાં. We need to be focused on what you want to do. When it comes to your career, when it comes to your business, PPM માં આપણે આજે જવાનું જ છે બાળકના, એના માટે બધું લેવા જવાનું છે. હું મારા બાળકના PPM માં જઈને આવી, સ્કૂલના શૂઝ સંભાળીને આવી અને then અહીંયા આવીને I got ready. But because you need to be focused on what you want, આપણે છે ને ફોકસ પરથી ડાયવર્ટ અને ડાયલ્યુટ જલ્દી થઈ જઈએ છીએ. અને મારા સાસુએ એમ કીધું કે હવે આ બધું છોડ અને આમાં ધ્યાન દે, છોકરીનો હવે ટેન્થ સ્ટાન્ડર્ડ આવે છે એટલે આપણે તરત બસ બિઝનેસ કરવું. Nothing is impossible. અને હું બધું જ કરી શકીશ એ સ્ત્રીએ છે ને સમજવાની જરૂર છે. મેઇન થિંગ જે આજકાલ હું બહુ જ અનુભવ કરી રહી છું being in amidst so many women entrepreneurs કે ક્યાંક છે ને હજી પણ percentage of women જે કહેવાય છે ને કે ઇકોનોમીમાં તેમાં વધારે યોગદાન આપે, ક્યાં અટકીએ છીએ આપણે? because somewhere women lack professionalism, women lack commitment when it comes to your business or your own development. આપણે હજી પણ you know આપણા મધરહુડના પેલામાં એટલા આવી જઈએ છીએ કે આપણે આપણા ફેમિલીના પેલામાં, હું એમ નથી કહેતી કે એ બધું ન કરીએ, એ બધાની સાથે સાથે આપણે અર્જુનની જેમ આપણી આંખ આપણા એમ પર રાખવાની છે. That is also very much important. જો એ ના હોય તો it's okay, we should accept that we are fine sitting at home and just taking care of it. એમાં કંઈ જ ખોટું નથી. But when we are boasting around about businesses and entrepreneurship, you need to be professional and focused and committed. આજે મલ્ટીટાસ્કિંગ મોમીઝમાંથી ઘણા બધા લોકોને અમે ઇન્વાઇટ કર્યા હતા and here these 7-8 people are here, so a big round of applause to them because they showed that commitment and professionalism and came. This is what is lacking in women. That's what I wanted to say.
Perfect. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think chai is getting thanda and हरिहरन जी वो वहाँ पे बैठे थे, फिर यहाँ पे आए, फिर यहाँ पे आए, फिर नेता मैम के पास आया, फिर वहाँ पे चले गए. So before he comes to me and tells के बाद तेजा चुप થઈ जा, let me just wind it off. As Hariharan ji kept on taking the key takeaways, here also we have the same thing. शिल्पा जी के पास से हमें लगा कि फेस चैलेंजेस आएंगी, कोई भी उम्र है, कोई भी माहौल है, फेस दोस थिंग्स एंड यू विल लर्न एंड यू विल सक्सीड. हमने मैम से सीखा है, मृजुता मैम से जगह कायम कर रही है. So now help others. Because now she is so equipped that she is ready to suggest, the policies that what is to be done and what can be done because of her experience and the kind of, the network that she has. Business veins में होता है, जो I'm sure मेघा मैम और हम जिस community से आते हैं हमारे veins में नहीं है, but she and Salil bhai, they have proved everyone wrong and they have started their own business. So we have learned that anything is possible and anything can be done. And with Vaishali,